Hey guys, welcome to JazzedTutorials. Yay, it's Saturday! New video. So, in this week's video, I will be showing you how to create a cool graffiti typography text effect. Now, I want to let you know first off, if you're when doing this, make sure when you choose your photo, choose wisely. I chose an action photo as you see here, and reason being is it really showcases this tutorial really nicely. So I would go ahead and choose a really nice action photo, kind of like this. Alright, obviously you want to delete your background because now that you've deleted your background, we need to go make this entire person black. Now that wasn't racist, I'm being serious. Okay, so control click on your layer and make that a, oops, that's white, a black. Alright, perfect. You got that set up now. Now we need to go set up our actual photo. So I already have this set up in here, so take your black background and paste it onto a lovely wooden background. Now I have chosen wooden background because this really showcases this tutorial quite nicely. I have played around in Photoshop trying various backgrounds like concrete to make a really cool concrete graffiti background, and I just can't seem to get the right effect with this exact steps I'm doing. So I think that wooden works really nicely for this particular effect. But if you know of other ways to make this with concrete, go for it. But me, I personally couldn't figure out how to make a graffiti photo like this with concrete. So that's why we're choosing a wooden background. It would be cool if you can use like a wooden fence. That'd be awesome. I just happen to find this wooden background on my computer, so I'm using this one here. But again, choose your own wooden background. As long as it's wooden, you're golden. Alright, now paste on your lovely person that you just made with the blackness. Alright, that should be a layer 1. Now, once you've pasted that, now is where the fun begins. You now need to go ahead and type your text all over that photo with various various sizes, and whatnot. So, and depending on the size of your photo will depend on how many of those you need. You want to cover the entire photo, and if you overlap, that's okay. There's a way to fix that just by masking that out near the end of the tutorial. I can show you how to do that if you want. Yeah. But for me, I chose to not try and overlap as much because that way it'd just be easier for me. But again, if you overlap, there's no hard feelings on that. There is a way to fix it, so you can just mask that later on. But for now, let's work on our text. So I already have all my text put in here because obviously if you were to watch me do all of this, it would be a good hour video. And I know for a fact none of you would sit through an hour worth of my videos. Honestly, I wouldn't sit through an hour of my videos. So that's saying something. So yeah, okay. So I pasted all of my text everywhere, various sizes, whatnot. Once you have all of your text made and placed in various spots on your photo, you may have a few of your black background showing, and that's okay. You can fine tune that later if you want by adding some like various shapes in there to cover all that up if you want. But I chose not to. I'm just going to leave it as is because it looks fine for me. So, doing so, select every single text you've made. I had over like 50 different texts. Once you select all of those, you're going to then create a smart object with them, which then makes it into one layer, which is very simple because if you make a mistake with a smart object, you can always go back and fix it by double-clicking on it. So that's okay. So click on that layer. So you'll see how I have a smart object there. It has a little box here that indicates it's a smart object. So yay! Alright. And choosing, oh, by the way, before I forget, choosing your text color is very hard to do. I had to go through a bunch of different trial and errors with this. I think a really bright text color would work really best. I chose a very bright blue, like an aqua blue. Just so you're aware, guys, if you choose a very bright pink color, it may not work to your favor. I tried to use a really cool pink color in here, but I was testing this out. It didn't really show through really nicely. I thought it was really weird how it didn't show through as good, so I chose blue. So a nice blue text is really cool. And again, if you want to try other colors, you can. And by the way, guys, if you choose a font color and you smart object it and it looks really ridiculous when you get through the whole entire tutorial, don't worry, girls and guys. I'll show you how to fix that later on, in case you need to. Alright, so I'm going to now make all of this, alright, I'm going to get rid of my black background just for a second so you can see my text. Okay, so this is my lovely text, it's all in blue, and with the black showing, there we go. Okay, so that's how mine looks like right now. As you'll notice, there's a lot of black in there, but that's okay. For me, it's okay, but you guys may want to cover all that up and stuff, and you can. If you use the shape tool, you could add like little blue boxes or colored boxes in there to really, hide the black if you want. But I just chose to leave it as is because I'm going to add some cool effects to that later on that I'll explain. So once you have all of your text placed where you want it, this is the part where if you've overlapped, you can fix this. So if you overlapped in any part of your text, go ahead and select your smart object layer, and you can right click it and it will make everything active. And then what you'll do is you'll just mask it out on your black background, and then it will then, oops, hold on. Wrong layer. Yeah, so just mask it out on your text layer or whatever, and it will then go away. Okay, but that's if you need to. But you shouldn't, because I think if you type the text properly and doesn't overlap, you won't need to. But you can if you need to. Again. Alright, so that's what mine looks like. Now let's get into how we are going to fix this and make it look pretty and awesome. So going back to my original background layer, the black background layer, I'm going to make this opacity down to like 60%. Alright, and then I'm going to set the blend mode to this layer to overlay. And that will then overlay it into our lovely wooden texture and give it a nice effect. So I like 60, but if you want to go a little further down, you can. I'm just going to choose 60 for mine. Alright, now, when you make your smart object layer, now in this part of the tutorial, you need to go ahead and duplicate that smart object layer twice to have 3 copies. So have 3 copies of your lovely layer here. And on each layer, we're going to add different effects to it. So double click on your first one, which is the bottom, and I'm going to add overlay. Alright, and reason why I have color overlay selected is because in my original text, guys, I chose a pink color, like I said before, and it really didn't look nicely. So if you don't like the color font or color you chose for your font, if you double click the smart object layer and you bring up your layer styles, you can change the color overlay to whatever you want. And I chose a really nice aqua blue. And then when you do that, now you have to add the effects onto the color overlay settings, not the actual layer. So on this layer, we're adding overlay. And then the one above that, which is your middle layer, sandwiched in there, I added another overlay for that blend mode. And FYI, guys, when you do this, make sure if you're doing a color overlay on yours to set your fill as 0%. But if you're not using a color overlay effect, then you won't need to do the fill layer. Just leave the fill layer 100%, obviously. Alright, and then on your very top layer, you're going to make it a soft light. And now you see here, it blends in really nicely. And this is the part where you can actually edit the black background if you need to, if you want to show the text a little bit more, or if you want to just be like, oh, I like it, hey, whatever. So I'm going to go down to 50% because I really want to showcase text more. So there we go. Awesome sauce, right? Now to really finalize this tutorial and make it look really awesome, I then added a new layer below everything, but above my my wooden texture, obviously. And on this layer, I added some cool splatter brushes. I happen to have these in my computer, guys, so if you want to find some cool splatter brushes, go to brusheasy.com and just type in splatter brush, and you'll find a bunch of different ones, and they'll all give you this cool effect. So choose any that you like on that website, or if you have any on your computer, use those. Just find some splatter brushes you like, and then paste them on randomly. And yeah, look at that, guys. Pretty awesome. And then I set my lovely layer to color. That way it blended in more. I tried other blend modes and they looked really ridiculous. So when you're doing this particular one, I would choose color for your blend mode. And choose the color that you've chosen for your text. That way it looks as if your text is the one spraying on the stuff. So, alright guys, that's my time. That's the tutorial. I hope that was simple and easy for you. If at all you were confused, which I hope you weren't, you can leave a comment down below. Inbox me here. I will try my best to get back to you in a timely fashion. Like I've said previously in previous videos, I try and get back to everyone in a timely manner. It's not always right away, but I will get back to you. I will not leave you hanging, I promise. Alright, thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you all next week. Bye!